My people. Welcome to another episode, fantastic episode of Don't Forget to Flush podcast. And ladies and gentlemen, guess what? We are reaching you live right now as I'm taping this. Of course, by the time you're listening to this, it's already recorded, but it's live right here in the city that everyone knows as Houston, but we call Niger Central. This is Houston, ladies and gentlemen. We're in Texas, and I'm here in Texas to meet with none other than comedian extraordinaire, personality of the year, the guy who fights with everybody in Dallas without living in Dallas. He's the man himself, Canice.
Man, it is so good to see you again, Namo.
Yeah,
let's talk about that.
Yeah, it's been a minute. It's been a minute, and of course, we are right here in SAID, Society for Africans in the Diaspora Institute, right here in Houston. It is a Pan-African library. In fact, the first and currently only the Pan-African university anywhere in the universe in the United States.
That is real dope that they're able to say that they were the first to do that. That is real dope.
And we'll take it. We'll take it. We hope that we can have more Pan-African libraries. Like, I wish people could see this. I'm going to try to get a video clip of what the space looks like before I leave, but it's just a fantastic idea.
This looks like Dr. Umar's, headquarters. This is where he would love to be.
How did we get that?
A Pan-Africanism. This is where he wants to be.
This sort of brings, I mean, look at the books, the images, the pictures, the setting, the setup. And there was an event here tonight, and everything is just fabulous. But Canice, tonight is about you. This recording is about you. I'm very excited in having you on the show. It's been a long time coming. We've talked about this in several forms. But I said to you, it has to be in person. You're not the Zoom kind of person I want to meet on Zoom.
That's true.
Yes, I want to be able to speak to you in person. So, Canice, man, let's get into the show. We have wine. We have you. I'm here. My first question to you is, which is what everybody's asking, because we see all your videos on YouTube. We see your stuff on Instagram, the characters that you've created. Everybody's question is, so who's Canice really? Like, in the midst of everything, who's Canice?
Well, let's start off with, that's a tough question, right? You had a better opportunity getting me to answer the square root of pi or something, or trigonometry, rocket science.
It's not the same thing, Canice.
It is. That is what is life.
How is you obviously don't go to job interviews. That's what it is.
Absolutely not. Thank God for stand-up comedy. I would have. Thank God for that. I actually am great at job interviews. Wow. Because once I get you in front of me, I know I got the job. Because all I have to do is just make somebody smile, and it'll make them remember me. And you just be friendly, especially if it's absolutely. Especially
even if you don't know jack about the job.
Absolutely. Like, I almost got hired at NASA. Like, I almost am. I'm an honorary astronaut.
I'm just laughing because I'm just worried for the entire institution. I'm worried for the entire institution if you got hired, because right now I'll just be like, that explains Space Force. Okay, no, okay.
I'm with Tesla. There we go. It was me.
Exactly.
No.
So who is Canice? Come on.
Who? I would say if I were to put it in, you want the long story, short story, what you want?
Just give me the one that everyone will be able to relate with, because now your comedian brain is going crazy.
I know.
No. Just give
this is what I tell my aunties and uncles.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. I am a here it goes. I am a public speaking engineer.
Oh God! I knew this wasn't going to end well.
I'm a professional engineer of public speaking. You gotta let them know that.
I feel for your uncles and aunties who actually will think that you actually you know what?
Because that's what they want to hear. But here's the thing.
No, but for real though, everybody who meets you, the first thing that they will say is, Canice is different. And why they say it's different, of course, first of all, if people meet you in person, they can't believe how soft-spoken you are, how teddy bearish, and all that. And I shouldn't be saying that because I don't want to give people the wrong impressions. But what I'm trying to pull out of it is there must be something that everyone can see through the characters that you create on social media.
Oh, absolutely. I'm free. I'm glad you're helping me figure out who Canice is. Thank you, Christopher Columbus. You're discovering me.
It's wrong if we're doing this right here on the show.
Oh, we can't do it not at the Pan African.
They'll be like, he's so lost.
I'm sorry. But yes, Canice is free. Like, and when I mean free, I mean like I was even talking to my mother the other day saying this or whatnot. I'm free. Like I don't have nothing to stress about. I'm not I don't care about criticism or any. I'm free from those strongholds.
Yeah.
Like I enjoy life.
Okay.
And so and I'm doing, and it's all because I'm doing what I want to do, which is stand-up comedy, entertaining, acting, writing, just performing, building an audience, you know, and being able to do things that I would watch on TV. You know, I could do now. I'm on TV or I've been on this set and I've done this. I'm like, whoa, and I'm free. So Canice is free. Like I'm so mentally free. So that's why I'm so chill. I don't. If I am chill, I'm always energetic.
You are. That's the thing. On stage is like you're a whole different person. Like I've performed with you, right?
Yes.
So we've been on tour some years ago.
Yeah.
We've performed on stage, and you're a different person. Like I know people who say that somebody's a beast on stage. You are just a different person when you're on the mic.
Yeah, man. I enjoy giving energy to people that give me energy back, and I love creating things. I love creating things. You know, whether I play with words, put them together, and evoke a feeling from people. It's so dope to be able. I call it a superpower. We know comedy is a superpower.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm saying like
but it is. Comedy is a superpower or whatnot, and I've learned so much about life through this journey of doing stand-up comedy in the industry and social media and things like that. So it's like it's a superpower that I didn't even know was a power until I looked around, and you realize the only ones that could do this is my colleagues.
That is very true.
You know, so and the crazy part,
I haven't thought about it that way. Superpower,
and everybody wants it. Think about that. There's not one, even in a drama. You watch a drama TV show. Yeah, they always have like a laugh break, a funny break. You know what I'm saying? A comedic break. Yeah, of all the monotony of the all the time, and everybody wants to be funny. You know, that's why everybody repeats a joke that Dave Chappelle said, Chris Rock or something. Everybody wants to be funny. At the water cooler, they're saying something funny that happened to them. Yeah. They want to feel like that. They want people to feel that they're entertaining, you know? So it's like, and it's a superpower that we have it. It's almost like we were born with it. And the reason why we don't know sometimes that it is a superpower because we are around ourselves. Superman ain't Superman in Krypton. He's only Superman in Houston. Yeah. I mean, in Houston. This the wine. It's the wine.
Okay, you don't have to say that on the show. Now people are going to be like, what are we doing? This is the first time. This is the first time we're having wine on the podcast. And we've been here 3 seasons.
And that is important.
Yes.
You know why that's important? Because it's also the first time you're at the first
Pan-African library.
There we go.
Yeah. So
there we go.
Okay, so we have a lot of firsts on this one.
Yes.
And you know one of the things that is also first?
What's up?
I didn't say everything that I usually say as my entire spiel to jump on this podcast because I'm hanging out with you. Like, I'm already laughing.
Yeah.
But this is, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening, just so that you know where you are, this is Don't Forget to Flush podcast.
Yep.
We're all about the African Renaissance.
Yep.
We're all about the culture commentary. And of course, later on in the show, we're going to put Canice through our fan favorite toilet seat conversations. All right. So let me ask you this then, because someone listening to you will be like, hold on. Am I speaking to, without seeing the video, they'll be like, hold on, is he African American? Is he from the Caribbean? Like, what's the context? And so I guess my question is, how has your heritage, because you are Nigerian.
Yes.
So how has your heritage influenced your going into comedy?
Okay. Well, you know, for those that don't know, my name is Canice. I was born in Houston, Texas, to 2 beautiful Nigerian spirits, Nigerian immigrants, my mom and dad, of course. I'm Igbo, you know, okay. Can do to my people. Mm-hmm. And when I think heritage, right, I always think of like me, my cousins, and the friends that I grew up with who also are Nigerian. You know, we're like this hybrid, right? Because inside of our house, we're Igbo. We are Nigerian and everything. And then once we walk outside, most people we run into from schooling to a job or whatever the case is, Americans, most likely. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that we're living a double life. We're living, it's just a combination. Yeah. You know, it's a combination.
It's like you're in a different country at home and then you're like crossing the border. You know, you take your passport into your school bag and you just go outside and you're like in a whole different country.
And so, exactly. And so it's like, I know what it is to, it's so funny. I know what it is to be to how people will treat you in America as a black person, right? And I also know what it is for people to make fun of you when they find that you're Nigerian. Absolutely.
You know both sides of the coin.
Immediately, as soon as you tell somebody you're Nigerian, be like, oh, okay. Everybody watch their credit cards. Everybody check for your.
Oh my God, I can't believe I'm laughing at
Make sure nobody corrupted your stuff.
Oh man,
like it's so much. So it's like, yo, I know that that's me though, you know. So
does that mean that, because everyone talks about the fact that once you do something that is not the conventional for Nigerian parents,
absolutely,
medicine, being a doctor, and all that, but for you though, considering that you were born here and there's some level of familiarity, was that different then? Did it mean something
absolutely.
different?
People don't notice when you see Nigerians in arts, it's still new. Because most of our parents are we're first generation, basically. Yeah. Most of our parents came here to survive. There was no dream. As my dad would say, when my dad found out I was a comedian, the first thing he said, I came here with $33. When you have $33 in your pocket, you don't laugh. You cry abundantly. Tears of abundance. Like, so, you know,
that is hilarious.
No, but it's
true talk, yeah.
So you have like you're raised in America. You want to have the American dream to do something that you're passionate about. You know, that's what they'll tell you.
Yeah.
Do what you love and you'll never feel like working. Stop it, okay? Because inside the house, you know what it is? Do what I love.
Yeah, exactly.
Do what your parents love.
It's like they say, do what you love with a wink. They'll be like,
no. It's do what. This is my dad. Do what I love. Do what I love.
I'm paying the bill, so you do what I you do what I love.
I love, so I won't be working.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Yeah. You become a doctor, so I can chill.
That's a very African or Nigerian expectation that our children are retirement savings and all that. So, but then, what was it like then when you started pursuing comedy? From what age? Like,
okay, let's get into it. I started pursuing comedy when I left college.
Okay,
to be honest, I never finished college, so I was there for 4 years, but I wasn't serious. It was something that was missing. So I wasn't going to class or this and that, but I was always involved in events. I was hosting something or something like that, and and I was always doing something and a part of something, but I was never just fully committed to classes. But I had focus. I had hard work. I just didn't have passion for what I was doing. I was not passionate. And so now when you become, when you decide to become a comedian, 23 years old, I became a comedian. So this is back in 2011, right? So, and mind you, like I said, this is totally new. Nigerians just started being okay
with their kids,
with sports. You know what I'm saying? We just
in the grand scheme of things.
Emeka Okafor, he made $30 million in the NBA. Okay, we'll give him that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that was years and years. By the way, Emeka Okafor is from Houston,
yeah, exactly.
And he didn't make millions in the NBA.
I know.
But the point is, though, that was so long ago, and they're just now like, I guess he could play basketball outside. That's it. Because when I was growing up, I was a part of that. I was a part of that era, or just this group of Nigerians that parents didn't want to do any extracurricular activities outside of academics. You know what I'm saying? So
that was their extracurricular.
Yeah,
if you have finished in school and you come home, which basketball? Go and basketball your book.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so no, this is for real. There was no movies, hanging out with friends, sleepovers, unless it was your cousins or something like that. There was none of that. So now you're looking around, I knew my passion since I was in elementary. But the thing is, I didn't know where I want to take it. So back to your original question, which is how did our heritage influence what I'm doing now? To be honest with you, focus and hard work. If there's one thing Nigerians going to be, is focused. If there is one thing Nigerians are going to be, it is focus.
Between face your front and focus.
That's it.
It's
to be honest. And so it's like that's something to where I was like, I may not know what I'm doing, right? I remember I had to tell my mom that one day when I first started. I was like, I may not know what I'm doing, but we believe in God. And sometimes we have to walk by faith, not by sight.
That's true.
So
Reward.
and it's so crazy because the way we're raised, our parents they don't believe in progress. They believe in success. Right.
That is true.
The only progress they know is if it's academic. Oh, you're a junior in high school.
Yeah. So the expectation is that you're going to ultimately get to
exactly.
the definition of their success. You're right.
Exactly. Yeah. That's all they know. So when it's like something as like, to be honest with you, art is still the Wild Wild West. And especially with the introduction of social media, I call it the social media boom, right?
Yeah.
Especially with that, it's still the Wild Wild West. Somebody could be doing their art, right, for 20 years and nobody's ever heard of them. They haven't made it over a certain pinnacle. And somebody can start yesterday and go viral on social media and their life has changed. There's no
scientific trend per se that says you're next in some kind of calculated
absolutely way. and that's what they want. So they don't know the progress of our journey. They just know, oh, okay, you made $1 million. That's it.
Yeah.
So, and it has to be $1 million. When you're doing art, I don't care, guys. If you're doing something outside of doctor, lawyer, engineer, or whatnot, or and what's the other one that you can be? Failure. Besides those, but when you're doing something outside of that, the only thing they know is $1 million. I can't make $500,000 being a comedian, and my parents would be like, "Oh, he's successful." No. It has to be $1 million, probably 1.5.
Yeah,
because they need $500,000 themselves, so they can tell everybody, my son is a comedian,
and he made $1 million.
I was the first person who wrote his first joke. That's him.
Exactly. I knew he was going to be a comedian. In fact, when he opened his mouth and he laughed as a baby, I knew.
I said, "This is my son."
And you're right there looking at the scars of the beating, and you're like, "Excuse me, how did you
What about when you had $33?
I know the story you told us.
You did it.
Oh man. So for real though, let's get into this section, right? So this segment is about culture commentary, right? And we want to put it in context because, like you mentioned, it's like crossing the border, pretty much. Nigerian in the house, step outside, America hits you in that sense, right?
Yes.
So from your vantage point, then, what would you say has been the, as it were, the difference? Because I want to go into some kind of detail. Like if you think about the jokes. You've performed with what I'll say traditional African comedians.
Yeah, for the most
You've
part.
also, what did you say?
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah. But you've also performed with, what you could say American performers as well. So in the construction of jokes, when you think about the jokes as you've heard them, what would you say that they are different? You see a difference in the way it's told between African Americans and Africans, and what can you share from your vantage point?
Okay. The biggest difference I saw, plain as day, I don't know if it's what the audience expects or just what they're used to, but like Nigerian comedians specifically, African comedians that I've seen, they are storytellers. I don't care if they just started yesterday. Storytelling. And the reason I say that is because coming up, in Houston, Texas, and then moving to New York early in my career, I would not. One thing I learned, what everybody always talk, write jokes. You need to write some jokes and things like that, and you'll have open mics that are like, they'll give you 3 minutes or 4 minutes, maybe even 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So you're supposed to write enough jokes. I will see one of my Nigerian friends literally go to an open mic and use their 4 minutes on one joke that is worth the punchline at the end. But that whole story, it was worth it. You see what I'm saying? So, and I'm like, yo, I never had that, I never had that at the beginning. I had to learn my way to tell a story. So that's one thing that is absolutely, it's immediately, like for instance, right? I have a white friend, right? He says, hi Caucasians. And he says, hello Caucasians. Yeah. But yes, I have a white friend. He always says, how come every time a black comedian goes on stage, it don't matter if they started 10 years ago or 10 minutes ago, they always have the same high confidence, right? He always says that they always have the same high confidence. And I say that about African comedians, right? Like, born in Africa, they always, when they have when they do jokes, they always have stories, and they're good at telling the story. And it makes sense because Nigerians, we can't just tell a story.
Yeah, we can't just. We have
paint
to
the
explain.
picture.
Yeah, we have
Exactly.
to paint the picture.
We're
Let you
gonna-
understand exactly how this thing is supposed to be,
And
so
it's
that
worth it all the
yeah.
way up until the end. That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing I've noticed. So even from like Basket Mouth to who was it? I Go Die. Who was my favorite? Way back. I used to watch videos. Clint the Drunk. Because I like to drink.
That is very interesting because so many, when we think about comedians back home, folks are sleeping on Clint the Drunk. Like
I love because he'll hit you with some wisdom.
I know he's I don't even want to get into it, but it's just a point of view about his talent and how it seemed in the community that he wasn't as prominent or as, not that he's not big, but I'm just like,
huge.
he's really, the way he writes and the way he tells his stories.
I love it.
And look at me going back memory lane. So let me ask you this then. Who would you prefer? Is it okay to put you on the spot and say, who would you prefer to perform with?
Yeah, when you're talking about
African comedians or
I mean, you got to think about it. My
yours is just who's paying me.
Nah. I'm not gonna lie.
And you can plead the fifth.
No. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, and I'm drinking wine, so I'll be honest.
Okay,
but not. It's American comedians because most of them are my idols. Like I want to live my life like Eddie Murphy. He had everything I wanted. You know what I'm saying?
So that's outside the scope of what I asked, but I'll take that as an answer.
Yes. So
because now you're talking about the life that he lived. I'm like,
no. I mean, like, because when you really look at the scope of things, I used to always see African comedians trying to cross over into the American market, and so I was like, what's over here that everybody wants? We only have 350 million people. China has 2 billion people.
Why aren't we trying to cross over to China?
Them, And then even they're trying to cross over here. I'm like, what is so good about America? Have you seen gas prices? It is not.
It's not for the faint of heart. Have you heard of mortgage?
Yeah, exactly. Stuff like, do you know we paying rent in spaces that didn't belong to the people who were paying it to? Did you know that? They stole this land. They stole this land.
That is crazy.
So, but yes, I used to always wonder why they want to cross over here. It was always so weird to me because I'm like, I have a whole continent that loved y'all. If you see an African artist, they don't even have to come to America. They don't.
Yeah.
They will live forever just touring the countries in Africa. They're that big.
I see that.
So, but I don't know what it is.
So it is the same spirit that we have, right? Generally, the African comedians will say, hey, I want to take my message to the world. So your perspective answering that question is you also in that sphere, being in that same, communicating the stories to the world, as it were, which prominently seems to be this part of. And besides, comedy is a gateway, and I know you're into like acting and all that. Is that something that is also a passion as much as comedy?
Absolutely. All my goals force me to have to be a writer and an actor or whatever because I want to do things, and I don't. It's 2021. I don't feel like hearing no. So if you don't feel like hearing no, do it. Do it yourself.
True that.
Figure it out. True
that. True that. So let me ask you this. Let's get into this segment, which I love because this is what we call the Dinkma and the Diva segment.
Okay.
The Dinkma and the Diva. And for those listening, this is Don't Forget to Flush, of course. Please don't forget to find us, even though it's Don't forget to find us on social media. We're on Instagram at Don't Forget to Flush, the number 4 and the number 2. And of course on Twitter, just put the letter P. That is it. And just send us an email. We love to hear from you guys. Thank you so much. A big shout out to the mom. I won't mention her name right now, but she sent us an email talking about how that she and her kid listens to the show. And I keep thinking about that email. And I'm like, please guys, just keep sending us email. Just keep encouraging us. It's Don't Forget to Flush pod@gmail.com. So we're going to do this because Dinkba is Igbo for strong man, right? Igbo man, but it's both of us. So it's going to be Dinkba and Dinkba. Unless if you want to answer Diva, I don't know. But, we're equal opportunity here. You get what I'm saying? So if that's
no, I'm Dinkba.
You're Dinkba. Okay, good.
Yes.
So what we're going to do is that you're not going to use the Igbo accent. Okay. That's for sure. That's out of the equation. I've taken it out because I'm the one who runs the show, so I get that. All right. Okay. So you have to try any other accent when I ask you this question in this segment. And so we're going to put you on the spot. And we've had people kill it. We've had others who didn't, but we laughed all the same. So here is my question. Let me get into character. All right. So the Dinkba and the Diva, and this is Dinkba and Dinkba. Ladies and gentlemen, Canice on the seat with me at SAID, Society for Africans in the Diaspora Library out here in Houston. Let's go. Canice the Canice. You know, the first time I met you, Canice, the first time I heard of you, they said Canice. I said, who is this American that is coming to come and perform? And then I now heard it is Canice and Nana. I said, hey, this is
why?
This is our
thank you. Why? Thank you. I was just I would have called you stupid that you didn't know
that you are an Igbo boy.
Yes, straight from.
There is no way you can tell Igbo from Canice. Canice.
What
Or we
do you
could pronounce
mean?
it like an Igbo name. Canice.
Hold on. Why do we always put up every time?
We have to make sure that our brains can recognize it. If we say Canice, it might not, but Canice.
Hey!
Hey,
I've known him since Kemwe.
hey, Kemwe. Now you're snapping your fingers. Guys,
I'm
are like, we are off the rails on this particular episode. All right, folks. So Canice, let me back to character. Canice. You know that you're into comedy. So there are either some people that are silly enough to join you, or that they have not. They are smart enough to avoid it. But what would you tell those folks? You know, that you will say that, yeah, you know what? Let me go and do comedy. Or the ones that say, I don't want to do comedy. What are your feelings about that kind of dichotomy?
I'm supposed to be in accent.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
You keep going on the accent. Canice.
I'm for the rest of the show.
For this particular, look at me now sounding like you. For this particular segment.
For this particular question. Oh, jeez, this is gonna sound bad. All right, how about this?
Okay.
For this particular, no man.
You were supposed to answer a question. Canice, you're supposed to answer a question about how do you tell people that are saying, I am not silly enough to go and become a comedian.
Okay.
Or those that say, you know what, let me go and do this comedy thing. What is your point of view? Is it how do you see it?
Well, I would say that they need some water. They need water, bread, tea, and crumpets.
I don't recognize this accent. You sound like somebody who
I'm trying so
somebody
hard.
who bought the bootleg version of a British TV
I know.
show.
I'm trying. And you know, there's some words.
Oh my God.
And there's some words that help you.
Okay, you know what? You are the person that's categorically failed this segment.
I'm trying.
I don't even know how to go forward. Pick any other accent,
Okay,
Canice.
how about
Okay,
this?
take the
I got
Igbo
one.
accent. You can have it.
Now we're talking.
Oh,
Now
God.
we're talking.
Oh,
We're in
my
the
God.
neighborhood.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
feeling yourself right
I'm
now.
feeling myself. Okay.
Okay.
They call me Braille.
Okay, let me
feeling
try it. So,
myself.
je Canice. The question that I am asking you is about the people that say that they want to be a part of comedy, but they are not sure, and others that say no, celebrate, I will not do this comedy. What say you?
Jace, I know,
Okay,
I see what you say.
Stay focused.
Jace.
You took the Igbo accent.
Oh, my
Canice.
bad. Okay, you're right. My bad.
Oh, God.
I did another one.
I'm sorry,
I was-
guys. This is
Okay, let me-
the wine is not even that much.
I know, but I saw you doing the accent. And I was like, I want to do another one.
Oh God!
It gave me an idea. I'm sorry. When in Texas, I was like,
I'll
let me
take
do
the
my
Igbo one
best.
back. Okay.
Huh?
Canice,
Okay.
this is turning into some kind of exchange of pick an accent, Canice.
Okay, one. Just
How
one.
does one person fail this
Okay.
this segment?
All right, I'm gonna do a Brooklyn accent.
Okay, if
There we
we
go.
don't even know what he sounds like, but
Okay.
go ahead.
All right. Yeah, so son, I would say they need to stay away from the game if they're not true to the game. Right? They need to stay away from the game if they're not true to it.
I'm just worried that after all this time we spent, I don't know what question you're answering.
I don't know.
Oh God! What an episode! Oh my God! If this was our first episode, there is no way even Apple Podcasts will hit us up and be like, guys,
Hey,
this
get
is
rid
not
of
for
it.
you. This is obviously not for you.
I would definitely say though, if somebody said I'm silly enough to join, if somebody was like, you know what, I'm smart enough to stay away, I'd tell both of them that they're right. I tell both of them that they're right.
That's deep.
Because I feel like in comedy, at some point, right before you go on, you told yourself, I can do it. You know what I'm saying? You said, I can actually do this. So they're right. And there's some people that told themselves they can't. And they're right because they don't have the mentality, you know what I'm saying, too. Because it's a lot. When you go into it like, I can't do this or whatnot, you won't, because it's nonstop open mics, writing, and going through times where you're not as good as you would like to be or what you see on TV. And when you already defeated yourself in the head, you're not going to push through all of it. So especially with me, my first night, it was bad.
Wow.
It was horrible. So, everybody got that story where I killed it on my first night. Not me.
I don't know too many people who had that impression on their first night.
Dave Chappelle said he had a great night his first night. Eddie Murphy said he had a great.
I always worry about those statements because I'm like, when would you say was truly your first night?
That's also true.
Like when they talk about first night, are they talking about when they were like not doing like a free night, or they went to a club, or would doing it at your friend's party count, would doing it in front of family count? You get what I'm saying? Like,
oh, okay.
When is truly your first time? That's the way I see it. And so for me, I started early doing comedy, my sphere, and I never counted being on stage as my time. I counted every opportunity I had more than 3 people in a room to perform as part of it, right? So in that context, would you say your first time that you're describing right now that you bombed, is this like first time?
This was my very first time on the microphone saying I'm doing stand-up comedy.
Wow. Okay.
This was my very first time. I'll never forget it. June 20th. It was like Monday night. June 20th, 2011.
I remember it. It's traumatic.
Yeah, Sherlock's in Houston, Texas, near West Gray. I'll never forget it because that day changed my life. I did so bad, but I'm such a competitor. I'm like, I can't leave on a loss. And I know I'm good at this. And I told myself, I was like the dude said, I'm still enough to do this. I know with me, I can work hard so I could get something done, right?
Yeah.
And I know I can focus in. Whatever it is I see, if I can see it get done right, I can figure out a way to get through it. So I just kept coming back. And and here we are 10 years later.
Yeah.
There's TV credits, there's festivals, there's this, that, you have celebrity friends and you get opportunities. This is it. So that's why I say both of them are right, because I know people right now who I consider some of the funniest people. You ever notice some of the funniest people don't do stand-up comedy?
That is true.
You ever notice that? And it's like, why doesn't this person do it? But also, the people who I'm talking about, I know them. Going through what I went through, like mentally, they'd have just said, "Forget this.
They'll never do it again." It's not what their time. Well, you brought us into this final segment, as it were, that we talk about a lot, which is toilet conversation, because what we were just discussing is pretty deep and very insightful. So let me ask you this then, as we begin to round off under this auspices of toilet seat conversation, which is where best ideas come from when you're on the toilet.
Absolutely. Oh my God.
That's the whole point.
Can we talk about this? Can we hold it right there? No. If we got to go long, we got to talk about that. Why? There's 3 places that I normally get my best ideas: toilet seat, tub, and toilet seat, tub, and when I'm driving.
Okay, so we're worried about the third one.
But it's always 3 places where I shouldn't be writing in my phone. You know what I'm trying to say?
That you're about to crash a car. Like, I would not be in the car with you.
I understand that. I deserve that. Cool. No problem. But if you need a ride back,
no, I'm
you
fine.
Okay?
I'm fine. If that's where you're getting your ideas from, that means it's like one of those folks who are driving and to be like, tell us when we get there. I'm like, you're the one driving. You shouldn't be here.
Yeah, that's true.
So, but let me ask you this then. So on that, deep thinking, really, what advice would you say has helped you the most to get you to where you are right now? That you, each time you think about that same advice, which is what the listeners will be trying to feed off, it's kept you going as one of your true North Stars. What advice would that be?
Oh, that's easy. This is an easier question than asking who is Canice. I want you to know that right now.
I can't believe
this is an easy question. I know this question.
Okay.
The best advice I was ever given, and I was so lucky to have this literally when I first started, like within my first week. The advice was, it's never the crowd's fault. It's never the crowd's fault. It's always your fault. It's always your fault. And when you think of it that way, when you think of it that way, you won't like, because sometimes we always be like, oh man, the crowd was bad.
It was a tough crowd, yeah.
Yeah, it was a tough. I've been to places where there was a quote unquote tough crowd, and somebody just walked in and killed it. Literally lit the place on fire, did a great job. I've been in places where something broke in the back and everybody's like, what's going on? Or they had to kick somebody out and you like, oh man, it's gonna be a tough night for the rest of the night. And then somebody gets on stage and reels them back into where they needed to be. So it's never the crowd's fault, it's yours. And it's much deeper than what it was. It was like always pointing at you first. How can I improve? What do I need to do better? Because you remember I was talking about comedy as a superpower. The real superpower of life is experience, right? When we master experience, okay, I've been here, I made this mistake. What do I need to do?
To be better, yeah.
Yeah, like like for instance, Nigerians are always late, right?
Okay, and that is debatable. That is debatable.
Not you. That you be on time.
No, I'm just saying the definition of time. Like
has nothing to do with Nigerians.
My whole point is that they say Nigerians are late, whereas we're trying to make sure you are ready. We're trying to make sure that we don't come and put you under pressure. We give you room and time to make sure that you're ready. Anyways, that's why I said it's debatable.
Yes, but yes, if we were, how about that?
Yes,
if we Nigerians were late, right? Like for me, I remember I used to always run late to the airport like a couple years ago, and then I said, okay, let me use my experience. Hey, yo, if I go to this airport, if I buy my tickets from this airport in Houston instead of the other, they have more TSA lines, so I'm more likely to go through quicker. Also, they have, I could buy a Texas tag, right, where I could go through any toll or whatnot, right, all through Texas or whatever. So if I live about like an hour and some odd away from that airport I want to go to, guess what? Now I cut it down to 45 minutes. So you see where I'm going? Save more time. Also, there's TSA pre-check. It's small little things. And even this one, which a lot of us don't do. A lot of people of color in general, we don't pack early. We don't know how to pack. And then when we do pack, we want to pack a just in case outfit and a just in case outfit in case that outfit doesn't work,
so
and an emergency outfit.
That is exactly how I came here. That is exactly how I came to Houston. I packed this morning and everything was just in case.
You're supposed to. Okay, I'm going there or whatnot. What are all the things I want to do? Now you're.
So you're saying it's not the world for it's us.
Exactly, and we use our superpower that God gave us, which is experience. We failed right here, but we know when we get another opportunity,
we take it.
Because think about it, once you lose at something, or once you you fail at something, you know everything that you did wrong immediately, right in that breath. No, and what you need to do next time immediately. And so when we act on those things, guess what? Now we get the results that we want.
Wow.
So taking
that's deep.
Yeah. Oh yeah, got to.
I mean, Canice, comedian. We started off with laughing. Now you're like,
so using
you really did good with toilet seat conversations. That is really
absolutely.
Good. I'm proud of you, man.
I think on the toilet. Come on, man. I do deep thoughts.
Oh my God, Canice, thank you for being on the show. We love this. It's an absolutely great episode. I hope folks enjoyed as much as I did, because I'm just like, I can't even believe how much I've laughed already just hanging out with you. But it's great to see you. Thank you for coming to the show. What I'm hoping is that in no short time at all, we're going to see your name plastered on all billboards. You're going to be right there killing it. And we see what you're doing on TV. We see what you're doing on Instagram, the characters that you've created. I mean, we're such huge fans. Tell us how we can follow you.
Okay. And can I also tell them things I got coming up?
Oh yeah, that's what I want to go.
I know this is going to be aired in the future, but I just want to say a few things. Follow me on social media at Canice 100K. That's like 100,000. So
and it's spelled with C.
Yeah, spelled with a C. CANICE. So like can ice, right? 100K. That's on all platforms. If you're on TikTok, follow me on that too. I got a couple 100,000 followers over there, and they love my Black Pop quiz I do over there.
Nice.
Also, I do a lot of characters or whatever. Marquise X is a lot of people's favorite.
Yes, I love it. I love Marquise.
And so also
Marquise used to tell the truth before he got bribed and something happened. But it's a whole different show.
Don't tell nobody that, but that's true. Now, so yes, I also have shows coming up. But really, I'll be doing a tour in the near future, 2022, kind of later.
Awesome.
I would not like my own tour. Also, you might see me on a couple TV shows. I
Nice.
can't put it out there.
Yeah,
but you
but-
heard it first.
Thank you.
that
Thank
I
you. Don't
will
forget to
be
Flush
on-
fans.
Yes.
I've just heard that. Canice,
Absolutely.
always great to talk to you. We should have done
Yes.
this sooner. We're
Yes.
still gonna do more of this. We're gonna hang. And we just
No. When I
talk
come back, I want to be like, y'all remember when I told you about the TV show? Well, this is what it
This-
is.
this-
I'll
yeah,
be able to
exactly.
talk about it.
No, but that's even if we get you, because next thing now we're gonna have to talk to your PA who has to talk to
Yeah,
your
absolutely.
SA who has to talk
Yeah.
to another PA.
Yeah. You got to email me. You got to email me, and then
Once we
send it
get
to
you
my-
on email, we have to send it to your PA who's
Yeah.
gonna send it to some agency.
Yeah. Go through the whole thing. It's cool though. But you know what?
That's what we're
Namo,
great for.
I like you. If you send a pigeon, I'll respond.
Oh my god.
Nah, just call me,
Guys,
Call me.
this is it. This is, if you let us keep going, this show will just keep going.
I know,
All right,
sorry.
Canice, thank you so much for having us. And speaking about the things that crawl at night, what is this your whole fascination with ISEO? Okay, let's not get into ISEO right now. All right, guys, thanks so much. Don't forget to flush.
Yes.
We out, and let's go talk about this ISEO. What's up with this ISEO?